Yes, every meeting is my birthday.
Here we go.
Yes, I know.
I'd like to call to order the meeting for the Board of Education for Mount Diablo Unified School District for October 28, 2019. And we'll start with call to order. Mr. Warrens?
Here.
Ms. Mason? Here. Ms. Mayo? Here. Ms. Cowan?
Here.
And I'm Ms. Durkee. We're all here. We will go to public comment. The public may address the board concerning items that are scheduled for discussion during closed session only. These presentations are limited to 3 minutes each, or a total of 30 minutes for all speakers. Or the 3-minute limit may be shortened. Speakers are not allowed to yield their time. We have
Ask Carmen if she wants to speak now.
Carmen, we have a card for you. We just want to confirm, you want to wait till 16.14?
No, we want it now.
Because it says 16.14.
I have a doctor's
Do you want to do it now?
appointment.
Okay.
Don't change it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Good evening, board members, superintendent, and other district administrators. I'm here. It seems like HR and the superintendent office don't care about the number of classified staff leaving the district. HR is losing 3 employees. Legal department lost 2. Honestly, without any type of disrespect, are you blind? Should I spell it out? What's happening? I have met twice with Dr. Martinez regarding the hiring process not being followed, reclass process in my unit not being followed. Positions are being filled by the finger. I like you, I get you. Staff not passing tests are being offered DMA positions. I understand the superintendent is looking at the hiring process, but in the meantime, no communication has been done with any bargaining units about changing the process of hiring people. I think this is the new norm. Today, agenda item 1614 is up for action, not informational. I'm surprised. I've been here 22 years. This position was eliminated close to about 10 years ago in order to get rid of another employee. And now it's being brought at the same level as the superintendent assistant. The position has been posted and it closes on Thursday. My question is, how is this position posted if it hasn't been created? Do we have the FTE? This item should be pulled and brought back at the next at the next board meeting for action. Why? And my question is, why do we need 2 senior administrative assistants to the superintendent? Remember, the administrative assistant was recently reclassified to senior administrative assistant about a year or 2 ago. What we used to have was 1 DMA confidential to the superintendent, and she was the district communicator, or communication specialist, excuse me, and then a DMA secretary to the board. I am requesting the board to review this item prior to approving it as it is presented today. Also, I'm wondering if my members are having equal employment opportunities for promotions when people are being hired versus current MDUSD employees with excellent experience and skills. So this is what I'm hearing from MDUSD. There's money for DMA, but not for CSD, not for classified. The district is paying money out of class for DMA administrators in fiscal. Really? Some people are already administrators. I have the payroll department, almost 4 people that work out of class while they had no supervisor, no manager. They were denied the 5% out of class. So my question again, who ran that department? How was the work done with 4 payroll analysts? So I'm going back asking for back pay for my members. They deserve it. If there's money for DMA administrator, there should be money for CST. It's not costing more than $1,000 a month. Believe me, I did the math. Okay, but now my members are being questioned. What did they do for them to deserve the 5% out of class? That's an insult, that's disrespect. You are really questioning the credibility of my members. I thought Mount Diablo was trying to become a destination workplace. How can we become a destination district when people are leaving the district? I'm asking my members to talk to you, the board members, before they leave. to express their concern for leaving the district after many years of service. Good night.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Annie.
Superintendent Martinez, board. I didn't write a whole thing like I usually write, so this will probably come out like I usually talk. I feel this place is crashing and burning here. And what happened to Northgate today was just so out of control. I have a granddaughter that goes there. Sorry. I have a granddaughter, showed up for a period. That goes there. And what went on was just horrific. It's just, and no, I don't have a very good positive attitude about it. You may know me well enough. I very seldom have a positive attitude when I come up here. You've lost 5 people in the last 3 weeks, and I have asked them to please tell you why they are leaving and why they're getting other jobs. This is not the place to work. I've told you this before. I just finally got out of my reopeners with this district, and you know what I think upset me the most is I'm in reopeners. A week ago, we're done, which reminds me, it was 6:10, it'll go to vote, my reopener, so it's done, you'll get it soon. But we're in negotiations, and something was written about the new CalPERS rules, and not one person in there knew a clue about what was written in there. So I asked, who wrote this? They go, Sam. So I called Sam because nobody here knew. Gave him the answer I needed. Then when we go back in negotiations, because I had asked who wrote this, and when they told me, I kind of thought, I don't like the way they said that. So my exact words for them, it's a good thing that I did call Sam. She knew what it was about, you don't. And we are the last people in the world you want to throw Sam under the bus to. That doesn't work for us. So then on that, we had to call in TIS, does FTE, Sylvia, to ask Sylvia questions. Then we had to call CalPERS. So when I go into negotiations, I'm getting ready to go into FISA 6. I would really like for the district to know what they're talking about whenever they come in there. And the other thing, it would be nice if they all showed up. We've had this thing, last year we had the same problem. If you're on the negotiating team, you're on the negotiating team. It's an insult that you don't show up when you're on the team. You don't want to be on the team? Don't be on it. But it's an insult when you don't show up for negotiations. And I hope you find out what's happening down here, because it's a disgrace in what is happening in this district. Thank you.
Thank you. Patricia Hine.
Good evening, members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm here today to speak with you about Mr. Scott. I was here not too long ago in support of his reinstatement, and I continue to ask you to reinstate him to his position. I've been an attorney for about 30 years. Since Mr. Scott has not been reinstated to his position, it appears that this case is heading toward litigation. And so the two things that I can think of that are the only two things I can think of that are guaranteed in litigation are, number one, that it's a huge gamble, that a case that should be lost is often won, and a case that should be lost is often, I'm not saying that. A case that should be won can often be lost, and vice versa, and it happens a lot. The second thing that I think is guaranteed litigation is that it's very, very costly, tens of thousands of dollars for attorneys. And this is a big gamble. It's a lot of money. It's taxpayer money, and it's money that it's taken out of the classroom and given to an attorney who's paid well. It's very lucrative for the attorney, as it should be. It's a high skill set. It's a lot of fun to go to trial, but it's also a lot of work. So I ask you to really consider whether this is a gamble that you should be taking with these taxpayer funds that are being taken out of the classroom and paid to lawyers to litigate a matter. I don't know what the facts are that you're looking at in this case because I'm a member of the public. I don't have that information. But I can say that the optics don't look favorable from the side of the administration from what I can see. Mr. Scott was terminated on the first day of school. Doesn't make a lot of sense when you have a progressive discipline system. His property was thrown out a year before his termination, and then on the day of his termination, he was told he had 15 minutes to clear out, and his stuff, again, was undoubtedly discarded. And there was also this incident where he objected to a grade change and reported a grade change. And it appears that this, at least from a perspective of a consumer, a parent, taxpayer, it appears that this is really a grudge claim or a revenge claim. And maybe there are facts I don't know. But I'm deeply concerned about the way he was treated. He's a 28-year employee. I'm deeply concerned about the cost that this might ultimately be, with no guarantee of success on the part of the administration. Indeed, it's probably likely that he will be reinstated at some point if he pursues this. So I ask you, as a parent of a child who attends College Park High School, who spoke so highly of Mr. Scott in an email to you that he sent to you about a month ago, and other students who have come before you to say how much he has inspired them to lives of environmental caring and even career paths in environmental issues, that you could please reconsider and reinstate Mr. Scott to his position. Thank you.
Thank you. Hannah Carter.
Thank you. I would like to agree with Patricia Hine. I brought my signs and I haven't been able to display them effectively, but my tall son is now in San Diego, so I don't have my assistant tonight. Good afternoon, Superintendent Martinez and members of the MDUSD School Board. I am privileged to be here again today speaking in support of Douglas Scott, beloved science teacher who belongs back in his classroom at College Park. We ask you once again to listen to the community voices that give testimony to the overwhelmingly positive impact Mr. Scott has had on decades of students. Beginning this afternoon, we will be sharing the 369 comments from signers of the recent petition to reinstate Mr. Scott. That petition has garnered 1,060 signatures to date. We will simply read the first name of the commentator and then their contribution to as much time as is allowed. We planned on having a lot more people here tonight, but because of the air quality and other schedule changes, that has impacted our attendance. So these comments, just to summarize, some tell a moving story of a future career chosen because of Mr. Scott's influence. Some are short and sweet. All speak to us of a dedicated educator who deserves our thanks instead of being kept from his classroom. And so we ask you all to do what you can to end this travesty in our district at College Park High School. And very simply, I will start with Darren's comment. We will go most recent to oldest. This is not a pretty comment, I will warn you. So just don't shoot the messenger. Darren says this whole thing, from the clearing of Mr. Scott's personal property from the classroom to recent acts of the school board, reeks to high heaven. I hope Mr. Scott gets a 7-figure civil suit rolling, naming every miscreant individually and bankrupts the lot of them. Fabiola has a gentler touch. Mr. Scott last year was my daughter's science teacher. He put a lot of effort and was very passionate about his teaching. He made biology more interesting than any other teacher can. Thomas says, school administrators are where the money goes. It is right to assume that it is also where corruption goes. Broden says, I was a student of Mr. Scott's back in 2009. I have never been an academically inclined person, but Mr. Scott was one of the few teachers who could actually get me to retain anything from class. I know he has made a positive impact in my life and the lives of countless. To be
Thank you
continued.
very much. Okay, that is all, that's all the cards we have, so I'm gonna check this out. I'm closing to public comment, that's all. Okay. We're going into closed session, and I'm going to share the items that we're going to be addressing in closed session. So item number 3.1, discipline, dismissal, release, or reassignment of public employee, Government Code Section 54957B1, one case. 3.2, anticipated litigation, conference with legal counsel pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9B, 3 cases. One case is existing litigation, conference with legal counsel, paragraph 1 of subdivision D of Government Code Section 54956.9, Mount Apple Unified School District versus Clayton Valley Charter High School et al. Contra Costa Superior Court case number MSC 15-00574 and joint cases. A second existing litigation is conference with legal counsel, paragraph 1 of subdivision D, Government Code Section 54956.9, Doe versus Mount Apple Unified School District, United States District Court case number 18-CV-0025589. And then 3.3 is negotiations. The board may discuss negotiations or provide direction to its representatives regarding represented employees pursuant to EERA Government Code Section 3549.1. Agency negotiators, Dr. Robert Martinez, Lisa Murphy Oates, and Roy Combs. Agencies, MDEA, DMA, MDSPA, CSEA, CST Local 1, and Teamsters Local 856. Item 3.4, expulsion of student number 01-20 from all regular schools in Mount Apple Unified School District. 3.5, expulsion of student number 02-20 from all regular schools in the Mount Apple Unified School District. And we are now adjourned to closed session. Thank you.